Bashir El-Rufai, Aliu Sani Madaki, and Sada Soli. These are the names of the northern senators who yesterday, upon the receival of a bill that was suggested by the southern senators, and indeed was even supported by Peter Obi, that in Nigeria to have an everlasting peace, let us have a situation and an agreement that the presidency will be organized and will be rotated amongst the 6 regions that we have in the country, which means that there will be a 4-year tenure or 6 years or 5 years tenure for Northwest, and afterwards we move to North Central, afterwards we move to Southwest, afterwards we move to Southeast, in no particular order, but this will be agreed on. But you see, these senators, they came up with arguments like, what if the president from a southwestern region, or for instance, they used the analogy of Umaru Yar'Adua, that in the situation whereby we were practicing rotational system of president and Yar'Adua died, that what would have happened? That would Nigeria had stopped because Yar'Adua, it was the turn of Northwest and Yar'Adua died? That means a Jonathan wouldn't have had the opportunity to ascend the position of power. When you look at that logically, it makes a little bit of sense. But here is the truth to that argument. There will be a contingency plan. There will be a plan that will put into consideration force majeure situations in event that such occurrences occur. This is why we are human beings. We will draft out a plan. And of course, I believe my subscribers can readily provide solutions that will tackle such problems when they arise. When they bring in this sort of argument, when you look at their names, when you look at their backgrounds, when you look at what is their ethnic colorations, they are all Fulanese, but again, they call themselves Hausa Fulanese. I have always said that the problem we have when it comes to tackling the foundational problems of Nigeria as it stands today are not the South. But again, they somehow find some saboteurs in the South. Agreed. And most times it tends to be from the Southwest, unfortunately. But you see, the real force, the real spanner in the wheel of progress for Nigeria are these northern senators and House of Reps. This is another example. When the bill of tax reform, when the bill of alcohol derivation, and you being a beneficiary of alcohol VAT derivation came on board, we know how Ali Ndume stood up. He was every day on national TV campaigning against Tinubu. They were calling Tinubu, well, he was against the North. He's trying to sodomize North. He's trying to put the North into a corner. Is it because the North are rejecting alcohol? Is that why he's now saying that those that derive money, because they are the one consuming it? So is it trying to say that they are the only one that has the right? Yes! That is what we call fairness. That is what we call meritocracy. That is what we call a system in a nation where you reap where you sow. And that is what we call fairness and justice. The level of unfairness that we have in this country is why some people will think that they can tear a bill that suggests that let us have a change of system of governance. When Nigeria was operating regional government, was there anything that has to do with maybe if Awolowo died? No. The point is, when it is the turn of a region, if there is a situation whereby the person from that region dies, Immediately within that region, they will have a referendum. It wouldn't take time, because immediately that person is there, there will already be an alternative. The person who came second in that election, because when it is a turn of a region, there will be a referendum in that region. Let me just say a quick regional voting process, that this is the person that will represent this region because it's our turn this time, and this is the person that came second. So in a situation whereby this person becomes indispensable, I mean, it becomes ineffective, it becomes sick or whatever, the guy who came second from that region will automatically take the position. It's as simple as that. No argument. But you see, they make simple things complex because of their agenda, because they know that this will shine light, this will bring progress, this will reduce the cry for political participations by all regions. In the southeast, if it is done of the southeast, within the southeast, amongst the 6 states, they will conduct their election there. And within that region, if it is an Anambra man that comes on top, at least he is representing the interest of the Igbos. Amongst the Igbos, there are minority tribes. In the southwest, if it is an Oyo man, if it is a Lagos man that becomes the president within that region, and then at the national level, he will go there, he represents the country. While he's representing the Yoruba interest, he will also be representing Nigerian interest. If it is the turn of the South, if it is an Ikwere man, if it is an Ijaw man, they will conduct the election. There will always be a turn that I have a sense that someone from my tribe, from my region, has gone there. It will bring in that sense of ownership, that sense of belonging, that sense of nationhood. But you see, the argument they brought is no, it's going to encourage envy amongst the regions, it's going to encourage jealousy amongst the region. In fact, they even brought an analogy that it will return Nigeria to the bitter days of the Biafran War, that it might indeed lead to regionalism. Please, if Nigeria must progress, we must begin to think indeed that we are supposed to be in regional blocks. If you look at our map today, if you look at the elections that we have today, when they are reporting the elections, everything Nigeria does today, when they say that they want to, what's it called, map out incentives, hate, support, federal character, these are the things they talk about regions. So why is it that the most important thing, which happens to be our presidential politics, why are we not discussing regions? Where are we limiting it to only north and south? When we know that in the south there are dichotomies. We have the southwest, we have the southeast, we have the south-south. In the north, they are not monolithic. The idea that the north is one is a facade, a charade, is a lie. The middle belt do not call themselves north. So why are they? You see, they know that that bill will embolden, will give the middle belters a voice of right. They know that that bill will give the middle belters that chance to become who they want to be in this contraption. They know that that bill will actually set free and liberate the middle belts who have been under the hegemony of the Fulanis in that contraption. They will not speak it out for you to see. Okay, they won't put it out there that, oh no, they won't. It takes you as a critical thinker to understand that this is the logic behind this thing, right? The idea that when we are talking about resource control, The Northerners will say that, well, it was the money of the granite pyramids that they used to build the first oil refinery in Nigeria, the Oloibiri. When they were having their own grand pyramids, where the old eastern region, were they not having their own oil palm proceeds? Were they not? Were the southwest not having their cocoa and rubber plantations that was fetching in money? So you see, this concept, this crab in the bucket mentality of the North. Crab in the bucket. Crab in the bucket. When you put some crabs in a bucket, all right, when you put them there, if you are trying to struggle, those ones that are beneath you will say, come back here, where they go? Come back. That is what we are having in this country. A crab in the bucket mentality. They'll tell you you go nowhere. You get the point? So that is why we must begin as the collective shout. Unite to hold our southern senators responsible, accountable. And if we feel they are not representing our interest, we must understand that we need to kick them out. I swear to God, if we have southern senators who have the same agenda and goal, Tinubu would have been the best person they would use to push this agenda of the southern emancipation. I have watched my subscribers comment that I am pushing a southern agenda because Tinubu is a Yoruba man. I am stylishly supporting. I do not get how some of my guys think that who I am. I have always come here to say that I am not a supporter of Tinubu. That in fact, I am a supporter of Shawore. That I am not against Nigeria being restructured, just as Shawore is. And Shawore has never been shy to talk about it. I am not against Nigeria having a new people-centric, people-oriented constitution. If we are going to have a Nigeria that will progress, these are the things, these are the gospels Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been preaching for over 8 to 10 years now. That Nigeria must urgently have a roundtable discussion, because the last person that tried it was Jonathan, and we saw how Jonathan was booted out. We know how Jonathan, how did not use insecurity to kick him out like a trash of bin. Let us listen to the confession of a senator who said that they used insecurity to kick Jonathan out. Pay attention.
Give them target. During Jonathan, we brought mercenaries. They were about to finish Boko Haram. But because of our complacency and personal aggrandizement and personal interest, we asked them to go back. And we are still battling with the issue. I was in Borno State as a member of a state House of Assembly when the mercenaries were in Borno.
I hope you are paying attention.
They were less than 30.
You are paying attention to what he's saying.
They operate in a place like this. Everybody with a laptop before him, observing what is happening in the bush. The moment they discover an enclave, they will be able to identify how many weapons do they have, what kind of weapons are they using, how many AK-47 do they have, how many explosives do they have. They will take only 3 or 4 people in a chopper, go and clear everything. They will snap pictures before clearing them and bring back exhibit. We are about to finish it. And because of interest, personal interest, that if we allow mercenaries to finish this thing, we are not going to get anything. How much was the bill given by the mercenaries?
I've always said it.
Even Russia is employing mercenaries.
Show you the full video after this, my analysis. You see, when we have always said that the reason why we have banditry and Fulani headers today consuming the whole of North is because the political leaders they used that campaign for. You know, sometimes we come online, it's as if we are profiling the Fulani headers. It is as if we are profiling the northern oligarchs. It is as if we are pushing for complete ethnic cleansing of the northerners. You know, it is not so. We are only speaking out of passion because this is obvious. Everybody knew that Jonathan engaged mercenaries from Bulgaria within the period of 2010, 2011, 2012, and we were supposed to spend $300 million. Today, Nigeria has spent nothing less than $15 billion. Look at the difference. Look at the disparity. We're supposed to spend $300 million. These machineries were ready to clear all the territories where the bandits were actually hibernating and incubating more people. However, the northern senators then said no, 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 no. In fact, they took the matter to their religious settings. We started seeing the likes of the Sultan, we started seeing the likes of Shegumi coming out to tell us that any attack on the Fulani bandits is an attack on the north. In fact, it is an attack on the human rights of the people in the north, and indeed Nigeria will break up. Because of such threats, Jonathan had no choice, because everywhere was boiling. We were beginning to suspect that how did these bandits in a short time understand the terrain of the country if there were no internal saboteurs? How did they go to Chibok to kidnap 300 girls? In fact, one of the people that bombed Iyanya was seen in the state government house of the current vice president today. So you see the thing that is going on in Nigeria. The hypocrisy of the north is why the south will not progress, and yet the southern president, the governors, the senators, all of them are all bunch of cowards who do not know what their gain is. Right now, today, just yesterday, I made a program this morning. As you can see on the link over there, nothing less than 10 to 20 soldiers. Patrick, David, Christopher. Look at the names. If you are intelligent, you deduce where I'm going. Look at the names the Fulani bandits killed, cold-blooded, while they were in their sleep. In a situation whereby a Fulani bandit will now have a superior intelligence to attack an army barracks, show me anywhere in the world that happens. Is Nigeria Burkina Faso? Because some people want to refer me to Burkina Faso. Is Nigeria's economy not 50 to 100 times bigger than Burkina Faso? How come the Nigerian barracks does not have what we call motion sensor? There's something we call motion sensor. If I have a house here, if you are just about 50 kilometers away, when you are close to my house, that motion sensor will indicate and signal me that there are people coming close. You guys should check your camera, your CCTV, or just check something so that you know who is coming, who are the people. Is it an animal? Is it a human being? Are they dangerous? But that is